Okay, so this is a super quick tutorial on doing VR credits. I'm using my daughter's 5th grade science project here that she's done as a class, just as a demo. So first of all, we need to make a simple image. So I'm going to switch over to Photoshop. And you can see on this, just use the text tool, Ms. Hallgren, 5th grade science, virtual diorama. And this is the same, just to keep it simple in terms of how it's going to work and show up. This is using the same resolution as my VR image files. This is the panoramic files that I've created for Premiere. Very simple version. This is just white background, black text, and I could do this as a Photoshop file and leverage layers, but I'm just going to save this as a JPEG so we can go over a few additional elements in Premiere because you don't always know where this title block is coming from, something like that. So just using the lowest common denominator of a JPEG here in terms of the tutorial. So inside of Premiere, let's delete that and let's import that in. Actually, I think it's already imported if I can find it quickly. So that is the title block JPEG that I created. I'm just going to drag this in the video channel right above. So this is sort of my base view right here. And I have the title block showing right on top, right? So by default, it looks something like this. So the first thing that I want to do is set up my transparency. So I'm going to double click on that. I'm going to go to its effects controls and my blending mode, just like in Photoshop, I've got my blending mode right now set to normal. I can set that to multiply, and that will position, or it will make the white transparent, leave the black opaque. So pretty simple trick. As you can see right here, though, really difficult to read. So I'd like to move that down, do a few other things with it. So I can go ahead and just slide its position down some. Oh, that's left to right. Whoops. So slide it down, put it in a location that's slightly easier to read. And you can see something like that. Now, it's sort of wrapping the text or warping the text just a little bit. If I want to flatten that out, there is a tool inside of the immersive video effects. So video effects, immersive video, called plane to sphere. And if I drop that on, it will essentially flatten it out. It will align the image with the equirectangular format of the VR panoramic files. Okay, that was sort of a mouthful, but that's what it does. It gives you a few additional tools as well, the nicest one being this scale tool. So I can move that, and then wherever I move this around, you'll see it flattens and stretches it based off of the panoramic VR setting. So in other words, I can get this sort of positioned really nicely using that little effect, and it's going to show up correctly as I'm looking around in VR, even in terms of giving it a little bit of foreground, background feel. Like this text is in its appearance is floating a little bit in front of the background now based off of that scale setting, which is pretty cool. So last thing that I'm going to do with this as a title block, I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit more. I'm going to add in my transition effect. So just a really simple cross dissolve at the beginning, another simple cross dissolve at the end. And now when I scrub through that as a preview, text fades in, text fades out. Easy peasy.